I'm sure you've already looked for Harry Potter podcasts everywhere.
Note em Seção Reservada.
Oh! What's that? How come? He just arrived and already speaks better than you.
That's what I was going to say. Yes?
Did you get it?
We're on episode 30-something. It's her first time here.
And she got it right.
And she nailed the tone of not on Seção Reservada, and I got it wrong for 30 episodes. What's going on, guys? But please, Giovanna, introduce yourself, please, to our dear listeners of Seção Reservada. Who are you, and where can people find you on the internet?
Hey everyone, how are you? I'm Giovanna, or Miss Walker from Plantel Geek. Yeah, I work in film. I do things related to screenwriting, cinematography, that kind of stuff. And today I came here with the guys so we can talk about Harry Potter, talk about adaptations, right?
Series?
Didn't anyone say this channel isn't about Harry Potter or Tira?
It's about Percy Jackson. I don't know what you're talking about. All good, guys.
She likes it.
No, it's we like it. Here it's kind of excluded. The people are excluded. Yeah, no.
No, it's not my fault, man. The internet destroys you.
You said it's true.
True, no, we can leave it, but Kako, please give the messages.
If you're watching on YouTube, please give your like, leave your comment below. The QR code for the Berador moment is also here on the screen. If you're listening on audio platforms, please rate us, give us your 5 stars, and let's be happy because today's topic has a professional here who understands the subject.
There's a professional here. How should we address you?
You can call me Miss.
You can call me Miss, okay?
Let's go, Miss Walker. Miss is more, it's because of The Walking Dead, right? Yeah, it came from The Walking Dead. But anyway, No, I'm already getting off topic. I really like The Walking Dead. That's it.
Seção's specialty, his expertise, is getting off topic.
I really like The Walking Dead. I'm like an enthusiast, but up until the last minute, I don't know if that happened to you. Yeah.
It's common, right? Everyone who likes The Walking Dead.
There's a season there that I remember watching the pilot episode on TV. Me too. I watched it. It was October 31, 2010. I was there,
I ordered. Do you remember?
I remember. I asked for it. There was a snack place near my house called Big Lanches. It was delicious. I ordered Big Lanches and thought, wow, this is it. It came with green mayo, which I ate. I said it was love at first sight. Is the snack The Walking Dead? The Walking Dead. I had eaten the snack many times before. The guy described it. I don't have this belly here just for show. Yeah, they eat the arm. Man, and I loved The Walking Dead. For a long time, I followed it like I was really hooked, But then, I admit, when The Walking Dead ended, I even tried to watch some of the spin-offs.
Like, yeah.
Fear the Walking Dead and so on.
There were about 3 more after it came out.
Right.
Like from Rick from Mad A.
So, I watched Rick's. I watched the first season of Maggie's. Yeah. I watched both of Daryl's. I actually watched quite a few spin-offs, right? Yeah, man. I watched all of Daryl's, man.
I barely watched any. I watched this one.
This one, the third, another, and this one again.
So, but I didn't watch that World Beyond. Wow, but I don't need to. I don't even do that.
Don't do that.
And I also haven't watched the 3rd season of Daryl, nor have I watched the 2nd one with Maggie and Negan. But you, who came from The Walking Dead, did you start by talking about that?
Yes. I started working on a news portal, like everything related to The Walking Dead, right? From the Walking Dead communities in Brazil. And at the time, there weren't even any because it was like 2010, And The Walking Dead was actually a mini-series, It wasn't even supposed to be a series. They kind of just did it on the side. Then it worked out and I said, let's make this a series and see what happens. And The Walking Dead comes from the comics, right? So I was already reading the comics. There are more than 200 comic issues. Look. And that's how it started. So I tried to think of an easy name. I said Miss Senorita, so everyone would know I'm a girl. I added Walker, the fandom name for The Walking Dead then.
That's cool. Nice. I've never read The Walking Dead comics. Are they good?
Okay, is it worth it?
Really? Is it worth reading? I've never read it.
It's worth it. I've never seen an episode of The Walking Dead.
Are you serious?
It's true.
It's true. The Walking Dead is cool, man. Do a short binge of
The Vampire Diaries, Awesome. I have what I really like.
Get out of there.
It was the best day. I have more time to comment.
You're kidding. There will be more.
He's serious. He likes it. He even bought a photo with the vampire at Cidade de Deus during CCXP.
He didn't come. That was at Supernatural. Wasn't it at Supernatural?
No, it was the little vampire from CCXP who came to the C6 CCXP.
No, William Ian Somerhalder. He even has a house here in Brazil. The guy is here every year.
Wasn't he from Vampire Diaries? He was.
But he never came to a Friday at CCXP.
Did he come or did you take a picture with him?
I didn't, man. No, I didn't take a picture. Okay, just kidding. But look, guys, today's topic, we're going to talk about a very important subject, which is obviously the Harry Potter series from HBO, and the challenge it has in retelling a story that's already been told. Because it's not easy. We have 8 movies that are culturally known all over the world.
That was something I fought for. We have 7 movies, with the last one split into 2 parts.
How many times did you go to the movies?
Movie split into 2 parts.
8 times you went to the movies? Yes, so that's 8 movies.
The movie was filmed together and released in different parts.
There are 7 movies, and among them, let's go.
I want to know, do you think Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, the professional who understands this stuff here, if she says it's 2 movies, I believe you.
All right, come on, let's go.
You won't like the answer.
A movie in 2 parts.
Let the authorities speak, Kako.
Guys, just between us here, there are 8 movies.
Each movie was nominated for an Oscar as a film.
They're plots, 8 plots,
See?
7 books.
I'd like to say that both of you are wrong, and everyone who says that is also wrong. Me?
Don't worry, Kako is just like that, you know? It's not a problem. And today we're taking on the challenge of how you retell a story that has memorable scenes on film. Yeah, you're a wizard, Harry. The first Quidditch flight.
Wait. Spoiler, man. Like Harry, you're a wizard, Harry.
Did you just say Harry's a wizard? What do you mean?
It's over. What's people's experience?
That kind of thing, for example, Harry talking to the snake at the London Zoo, especially I think he might focus more on that maybe in this first season.
Yeah, do you think we should focus on the first one? That's it?
Focus on the first season of The Sorcerer's Stone, since all the scenes are stuck in our heads. And I wanted to hear from you, and from you too, Keiko, and from Miss. What do you think will be the biggest challenge or advantage for the series, given that something so iconic has already been done?
Go ahead, miss. You can start.
Look, I think the negative point isn't really about the adaptation itself, but I think it's about the nostalgic appeal that people will definitely have, you know? People are going to come in wanting to compare it, you know? There will be that part of the audience that will do that. And, well, as for the negative point, I think that's really it. On the positive side, you can explore something about adaptation, which is what I usually call psychological narrative. I talk about it a lot on the channel. People who follow Planto Plantangete have probably already
Notice there are some terms that, yeah, I just go, that's cool, man. Psychological narrative, that's what I wanted, man.
No, and it's phenomenal. That part actually is what makes people like movies and books, because that's exactly what makes people relate to characters, to stories of overcoming adversity, anything like that, right? What is psychological narrative for those who don't know? It's that part of the story that focuses on the characters' values, on their morals, the reason why they do the things they do. So at the same time that you have a lot of plot happening, right? There are the negative points, the story structure. Harry is a wizard, right? Then he goes to Hogwarts. That's part of the plot. Now, how does he feel about that? Does he feel like he belongs? Does he not feel like he belongs? We'll probably see a lot of that in the first episode, right? When they show it, yes. His life there with his uncles and everything else. So it's something I even mentioned in my analysis, that I think they're going to focus a lot on psychological narrative, especially because they have more time to do that. And I think that's the most positive point of all, because what stands out in the movies for this same nostalgic crowd is when it moves you, when people can see themselves in it. So I think this aspect, both in the first season and in the others, is what's really going to drive things like the psychological narrative of the story.
Yeah, the thing about being able to address the character's motivation, I think that's a really valid point of the series. And we already have some glimpses that this is going to happen. For example, Lux Pratt, who plays Draco Malfoy, he gave some statements, right, in interviews, saying that we're going to understand Draco's motivation, right, why he's like that and all. Yeah, how family pressure has an impact on that, and it's directly connected, right, to how he is. And a lot of people already thought, no, wow, they're going to romanticize Draco and things like that. And it's not necessarily romanticizing, because romanticizing is like, he did this because poor thing, it's all right. Yeah, It's about understanding why, right? And do you think that's the most positive point of the series then?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's basically about context, right? It's like this. Draco, he's rude because he's rude. No, it's because he wants to make Harry feel inferior. But why does he make people feel inferior? You know? So there's a whole context that we usually work on in the script, which is this is done like when you're creating the character's profile. You're not even writing the script yet, you're thinking about the character and you have to build out the character's whole motivation, which I imagine as the series goes on will get deeper and deeper, right? So for example, if you have Draco there in the first season, then, well, in the second season, his parents will show up, right? Or at least Lucius and Malfoy. So then we'll see how Lucius behaves with his son, then how Draco reacts to that, and later how he verbalizes it to the Weasleys, for example, when they're in the shop with that scene with Gilderoy Lockhart and everything. So all of that, just by making a choice like that, a framing choice, a script choice focused on that, already changes a lot. Like, it changes things drastically.
Yes. You know, there's a really cool situation where Gary Oldman, who played Sirius, says that I think he says he could have delivered something maybe much better if he had, for example, received information about his character, like what happened with Alan Rickman, right? Yes. Alan Rickman received the information from J.K. Rowling that, you know, that he was in love with Harry's mother, right? And I think that made, of course, Alan Rickman himself in his diaries describes many things he didn't like about the adaptations. He speaks critically, he speaks harshly, saying there were movies where he didn't even see the point of Snape being there, you know, because I was just there making the same face and this and that. And Snape really is a character who, even in Half-Blood Prince, he really is this guy who, at least in the movie, was like that, right? Yes. In the book, we already see Snape as much more emotionally unstable, right? A Snape who yells more, who says things out loud, just like you used that term, right? About verbalizing, he's a guy who yells and loses control, something that I think the series will do very well in this sense with Papi Hero as Snape. Because when he played Hamlet at the Shakespeare Theater, he was really good, guys. You see his monologue, and it's really something very cool, right? And then we see this kind of thing happening. So, for you to see the importance, and in the documentary it showed, you see that when they hired Harry, Ron, and Hermione, they already had a complete briefing on how the character was going to be. And now this briefing probably exists for all the characters. John Lithgow, he definitely received a briefing on Dumbledore's entire story. Yes. Having direction to play the character is important, right? Yes.
Not to mention that today there's more context, right? You also have all the history from the movies, which made the saga even more popular. The books were already famous, but whenever there's an adaptation, it attracts more people too, right? So even if someone has never seen Harry Potter, they know what it is. They know it's a fantasy saga, they know a little bit about the story, and I think that really helps the actors for the series too.
And the thing now, since they have everything, right? Not just the actors, but the whole production of the series can explore the universe much better. And that was the challenge the actors in the movies had, right? Like, they didn't know where the character was going. Yeah, most of them didn't know where it was going. They don't know what's going to happen from now on, how things are going to be. So the series has that advantage, right? A huge advantage in storytelling that's already complete. It's a story. Of course, they're going to explore beyond that, right? Things that are out of the ordinary there. But it's also a story that's already finished. It's very easy to, yes, to adapt. The thing is, I think their biggest challenge with scenes that already exist and are memorable is what you mentioned at the beginning, nostalgia. Because nostalgia, of course, who doesn't like to feel nostalgic? It's a feeling that's it's warm, right? And it's very tricky. Because, like, nostalgia makes you think you lived in a perfect world when you saw it for the first time, that everything was perfect, that everything was better. But that's a deceptive feeling. Because, man, yeah, if you went back to watch it exactly the way it was, you wouldn't feel the same thing. Exactly. Do you get it? Because that's the trap of nostalgia, right? Obviously, I like feeling nostalgic. Man, there are even those Instagram pages that are all about the 90s. Yeah, right.
Tazo! Show Tazo! I got sucked into one of those algorithm feeds and I cried. My friend, I can't deny that I cried. There's music and those cameras that record, those cameras like filming a school from the 90s, the students in the
senior year. Then, man,
I say, what? Nobody with a cell phone?
You know what keeps popping up for me? Those things like kids farming aura back in my day.
Yeah, people are dancing. They decide on the Pasino dance move.
Psy, right? Yeah, Psy dance, summer.
Electro hits. Wow, that created a great vibe.
Man, seriously.
There was a crowd, all emo like,
The little bunnies on the side. There was a page that popped up like this. You didn't notice? It's a little background song, kind of like you didn't notice the last time you played outside.
No
When you grab that,
favorite toy. You go online.
you didn't notice the last time your mom called you inside and you said you'd return to your friends? Man, I finished the video feeling devastated. Devastated, my friend.
you're beautiful, right?
I'm a beauty. The algorithm was so cruel I grabbed my phone and said, no, man. That's enough for today. I don't want this content. Too old. I said, take it.
Man, so it's the nostalgia thing. It's really powerful. It's really strong. So, no, I don't even think we can judge people who get stuck in nostalgia. No, of course. But, like, just try. I think, like, what I want most here, what I tell people when I'm talking about this nostalgia thing is not like, hey, give up what made you feel good. No, it's embrace what made you feel good, but know that the series, it's not a substitute. Exactly. It's a new perspective. Like you've already seen the movies, you've already experienced that with the movies. And now, man, embrace what you're going to experience with the series. And don't try to think it's going to be the same because it won't be, you know? I think that's where most fans end up failing, like wanting to compare. It was better in the movie. I don't know. Yeah. That's where the challenge of the scenes comes in.
It's the same logic, for example, when they announce a live-action version. A live-action version of an animated film, I don't know what. People are like, oh my gosh, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I hate when I hear that phrase, like, I hope they don't ruin it.
I know it's famous.
I'm like, yeah. The live action is going to come out, and then the animation is going to explode. It's going to cease to exist. You simply won't be able to find it anywhere anymore.
That ruin it phrase really bothers me, guys.
Even more so now, guys, since we have the movies and the books, that's it. It's never going to ruin the movie. There's no way for that to happen. The guy's not going to show up in the middle of the movie like, hey, I'm here to like it. There's no way, man.
Guys, you're there watching, the doorbell rings and the police. Give me all your Harry Potter DVDs.
Right now. Now you'll only be allowed to watch the series. He's watching Philosopher's Stone from 2001 go to jail.
And then the judge, guilty?
Boom. There's no way.
Guys, wow, I saw the scene happening in the theater. But yeah, there's a part, an interview with Francesca Gardner, where she talks about not being afraid to explore this psychological side, especially trauma in children. Okay? Yes. And I think it's cool for us to talk about that here.
I especially want to see a child getting whipped.
Especially because I don't know if Harry is going to get whipped for being Harry.
Getting whipped with a belt, you know, like...
At least for me, in the first episode, I wanted you to talk a little about your view on this because I've already seen people saying things like, I can't believe the first episode is going to focus only on the Dursleys or just on Harry's childhood. And for you, this statement from Francesca about really showing this, like, we can't pretend these traumas don't exist. What do you think her general approach will be during Harry's childhood?
Well, I think that like the first two episodes, they should be what we call the first act, right? Which is right, the introduction there. So you have to make it very clear to everyone why, in this case, Harry and the other kids are the way they are. So it's not just Harry, right? We're probably going to have Hermione getting her letter, right? There was already a photo of the actor who plays Ron, and he's probably at the Burrow. So just by choosing to show this individual moment for each one, you're already choosing to go for this psychological angle, psychological storytelling, which is what we were talking about, right? And it's essential, honestly, exactly because of this thing about relating to someone. So, for example, imagine you're a child who never met your parents. You were raised by other people, right? It could be uncles, it could be grandparents, right? I always think a lot about how they're going to adapt Neville.
Uh-huh.
It must be really crazy now in the series.
Right? Okay, yes.
With a lot of potential. Just a note. Yeah, but this thing about bringing psychological aspects to Harry... Girl, if we don't feel like crying in the first episode, right, I'll pay.
I can imagine.
Me too. I'll eat my words because I think that's the path they're going to follow. There's even a shot from the trailer that I thought was amazing. I thought it was really crazy, which is just Harry lying down. Yes. Then there are the bars casting a shadow on his face. The actor is crying and he's wearing that blue, that very intentionally grayish cinematography. You're like, we'll see Harry and just get depressed.
It's a really sad thing, right?
It's sad.
And just a little light coming from the crack where Norton and Walter close it, lighting up just his face, right? Guys,
It's just so we can clearly see he's crying. So it's on purpose. It's like, look, he's crying, he's feeling it. He didn't, for example, get used to the abuse. He doesn't like the abuse. He realizes it's a negative situation, but there's nothing he can do.
Yeah, and I think that's a really cool point to explore. And once again, we're not bringing up the movie to criticize or diminish it, but we're making a comparison to how Harry reacted to these situations. In the movie, we don't get that sense from Harry. Of course, we know that Harry suffers. But we don't get the feeling that for him, it's suffering to the point of crying, of staying there, because, like, it just ends. It doesn't show him inside. That's not the story of magic, man.
the scene just ends, right? No.
You don't see Harry in there and how he reacts to it, right? Exactly, yeah. And man, the thing about working on this psychological narrative is really cool because the way it's built, I think it makes us care more about the character.
Totally. That's exactly the point of it.
We care more about the character. Man, just in the teaser, I already felt so sorry for Harry. Like, her cutting his hair, pointing the scissors, and talking to him like that. You're nothing special. And him with that, no.
And she's not speaking in a funny way. She's not talking with that tone that movies usually have, you know. They have a totally different approach, right? Again, I'm using your words here, Kako. It's not a flaw of the movie. It was just an artistic choice they made. But in the movie, when you add that colorful tone with Petunia, like, serves the coffee Harry, serves the omelet Harry, whatever, it seems more like unfairness instead of abuse. It just seems like someone being lazy. But lazy people, we find them anywhere, right? Yeah, you know? It seems like this. It's a person being lazy with a child. Wow, what an annoying woman. What an unbearable woman, you know? And now in the series, they used a much darker tone, a much more bluish color to bring that feeling of anguish, you know? It's like, this scene makes me uncomfortable. And the woman is pointing scissors at the child's face, you know? Saying that he's not special. Yeah. And imagine the rest of the Dursley scenes. There's only this one. Just imagine the rest.
You saying that makes me really curious because, for example, when the teaser came out, there was a lot of that. We saw a lot of criticism about the cinematography. Either people saying it's too dark or, wow, I miss the time when movies were all colorful.
And magical.
Especially Philosopher's Stone, right? Since it's the opening movie. So how do you see that part? I think you can bring that slightly more technical perspective if you start with Philosopher's Stone. Because I don't feel like the cinematography in this teaser is dark, okay? I think they're different approaches, but I don't have that technical knowledge to know what that means. How do you begin a happy story? It's not happy, right? That was how Sorcerer's Stone started.
Lighter.
A lighter beginning. If you start at this pace, do you think it's an HBO proposal? Or do you think we still can't judge this teaser material completely? Or is it a combination of both?
I think it's kind of a combination of both because the teaser material often gets a different treatment from the final coloring of what we actually see when we watch the episode, right? So we have to wait a little bit to see about that. But anyway, right, the change will be subtle. It won't be a very drastic change from what we saw in the trailer. So I believe, again, that they are putting all the weight of the story on this psychological narrative aspect. And for it to work, it has to have a darker color. Because if it's a very light color, they might run into problems, technically speaking, right? They might run the risk of it sounding like irony. I'll give an example here, for instance. Have you watched Squid Game on Netflix?
Yes, I watched the first episodes, yes.
Squid Game, for example, is a series I'll just summarize for you. Okay, guys, there won't be any spoilers from what I'm about to... No.
It's all good.
But Squid Game is a series where you put a group of people fighting to the death to win money. That's it, in a nutshell. But the games they have to play are children's games, right? So it's really funny how all the colors in Squid Game are basic colors, which is exactly to remind you of childhood. So you're there watching everyone kill each other in Squid Game, everyone doing all sorts of things, a lot of violence, and all those happy colors, all those cute colors.
That little sad one, the girl there, yeah.
There are children's songs, you know, that red light, green light song. Yes, that's right. So why are they children's songs? Because they're creating a heavy psychological narrative with very cheerful colors. This here is ironic. So round 6 intentionally wanted to be ironic. If Harry Potter went down this path of using a lighter tone while they're trying to focus a lot on psychological narrative, it would have the same effect, and the consequence of that would be weakening the plot itself. So, in other words, it would just seem like Petunia is being annoying again. You know, that's the thing.
It's funny. The feeling is that I find the use of colors in cinema fascinating. I think it's fascinating. I think it's amazing.
Suspicious, but no.
I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing how Breaking Bad is also a great example, right? Of how they use it. Yes, example. I'm fascinated with this thing about colors. And I think that just picking up a bit on what Tiago said about the concern that, well, Harry Potter starts off more magical and gets darker. He said that, yeah. But what I think about the series is that Harry Potter starts off more magical for us, but it doesn't start off more magical for Harry. Exactly. So the premise is already something that sets it apart from the movie. The movie already comes with this idea of being magical, like, wow, a boy wizard, right, who has a tough life and goes to a school of magic and everything. The series, if its beginning is going to show the Dursleys' abuse, how they were horrible people and mistreated Harry, it already starts off dark for Harry.
Not to mention that the very reason Harry is at his aunt and uncle's house is dark, right? Yeah, his parents were killed.
And he's literally locked in a cupboard, right? Yeah, exactly. He's locked up. It's like he's in a world where he starts off imprisoned.
He's mistreated like a disgusting animal, like, wow.
And that's really cool because no. The visual style, poor Harry, even Harry got dragged into it. But the idea of the colors is really cool. That's very pleased.
Someone please make an exact cut of this scene. Wow.
Harry is trapped like an animal. That's really cool.
It's really cool, man. No, but it's exactly what you guys said about showing this side of something that doesn't start out happy. But then there's this transition where you go from Harry from Privet Drive until he discovers he's a wizard. Kako and I did an episode trying to imagine what the first 2 episodes would be like. And we came to the conclusion that the second one would end at the scene with the little boats when they're looking at Hogwarts from the outside, and we think that's a good guess. But of course, the cinematography at Hogwarts, for example, we had the history of magic class there in the teaser, right? Which was that huge class, very dark, lit only by candles, which is what a medieval school would be like. There were no windows in that room to bring in light, right? So people have this idea that a good photo is a bright photo and a bad photo is a dark photo. And then we have that example of Harry coming from inside the train car, Mrs. Weasley hugging him through the window, and he's in the dark, they're in the light. All of that is photography too, isn't it?
All of that is photography. Photography actually is what we define as the composition of the scene. So it's framing, brightness, contrast, angle, even geometric shapes are involved.
Does the director of photography decide how the scene will be shot, or is that the director's role?
It's like this, the director tells what he wants to convey with that scene. So, for example, he might come to this scene in the train car. He goes to the director of photography and says, look, I want to really emphasize that Harry feels extremely lonely and that he imagines, for example, what it would be like to have someone to take him to school. Look, he's watching a mother, right? I think, wow, guys, I think it's fantastic. It's a beautiful scene. To put the role of the mother there right in front of Harry. Considering that Lily had such an important role in his survival, right? And he knows very little at that moment in the scene.
That scene in the
teaser left me really... For me, it was my favorite scene from the teaser. I even mentioned that when it came out. And the director, he talks about what he wants. And then the director of photography, he makes some suggestions to him. They record more than once, you know, with camera tests and do all that stuff. Yeah, I imagine that a big production like HBO must do everything, like storyboards and everything, already have it already. That...
By the way, Kako must have seen a lot of them, right, Kako? So tell us about the storyboards you've seen. Tell us, come on.
Just give a brief description so I can discuss it.
But I can't if I'm not allowed to.
Speak, go ahead, go on, ask.
Because I know that the series, I don't know obviously how it's going to start. Don't stall.
Hurry up.
The first scenes, yes, stories like Storyboard from The God's Kiss Hollow. Did you get to see it? From Harry's parents' house. Can't you talk about it?
I don't know.
Keiko blinked very slowly. I think he reflected on it very well.
The upper third, yeah, the upper third.
Yeah,
The lips caused a little trouble,
Does anyone here know computer language?
but you can say that, right? You went into a storyboard room.
The first room we were actually in, which is that room where in the documentary Mara is showing the model, right? In that room, in this part here, like she's facing the windows, right? In this part here, it's a huge hallway full of concept art of everything you can imagine, really.
Basically, it's bizarre how a TV series has these storyboards. Basically, it's a vision that the director will have of what he's going to film, right? Exactly.
Exactly. No, and there's everything. I've already done a lot with storyboards, right? I'm terrible at drawing, but I've already done a lot with storyboards because it's funny, you know? Just a fun fact. Some people create storyboards resembling animations.
Yeah.
It's strange. Some people just draw stick figures like this.
I've seen Martin Scorsese. He mentioned that he's using it now. I saw an interview yesterday from Variety where he said he's using artificial intelligence for this part of... Yeah, no. He says there's a company that's doing it like the storyboards. Storyboard. Yeah, to help out, right? Because at least that's how he imagines things, right? I saw that in an interview yesterday.
Yeah, it's very recent, right? I think I also glanced at that interview. But yeah, it's weird because, like, you make the storyboard in little squares, so you have to have a good sense of proportion. That's why you don't have to know how to draw that well. Like, it's just that people show off too, right? They go there, make a huge animation, and
Some of them are just absurd. No.
some people create comic book stories.
Comic book. And then when you look at the scene, it's literally the same, man. But damn.
Yeah, I would. Maybe I'm just jealous. Because mine is like a stick figure, you know?
I really get into these things.
No, man, it's crazy.
I think, I don't know. At least for me, that's why a lot of people, some people who don't follow that side of things, when they see us justifying some things, they say, look, they're making excuses, right? But that's not it. It's because, man, at least for me, the production part, the development of the thing is just as magical as watching the final product. Exactly. Like, because, man, I think it's fascinating to look at something and know what the director was thinking, how it was built, how it happened. That's why Finding Harry for me was like, it was a gift, you know? I love it too. Man, seeing the animatronics, owl feathers being placed one by one. Yeah, I love it. That's really amazing to me, man.
I was shocked by Scabbers.
No, it's insane.
Then he bit Scabbers,
I thought it was real. 2 Scabbers.
biting Peribaz, one who bites fingers and another who bites himself. Amazing.
I thought it was real and went back several times saying, wow.
How wonderful. The quality, so they must have it now. They're probably going to do it for the Chamber of Secrets for a phoenix. They can make a basilisk.
You know that the Phoenix in the second movie was already animatronic, right? Yes. And Richard Harris, hello, he thought it was a real bird.
Me from Richard Harris.
He really thought he was a bird. So the production team, to not break his illusion, would actually control things so that he could move.
Wow. But this phoenix is amazing, right? No.
Beautiful.
I love the phoenix. By the way, if they use the same design as Fox,
Love that picture with Richard Harris and Harry. And there's the little phoenix that just got reborn. That picture is it gives me such a warm feeling, guys.
It's perfect. And it's exactly part of what we were just talking about, right? How the artistic approach of the movies is so different. So I think that as the series goes on, they're just going to keep adding more and more dark tones. A little bit here, a little bit there. But I think the biggest difference won't be in the cinematography, because the movies chose to convey that through the cinematography. Now, the series is going to focus on the psychological storytelling. That's what I think.
look, because you see a Brazilian, Adriano Goldman, who's one of the best television cinematographers today. He worked on Andor. He's good. The cinematography in Andor is wonderful. He worked on The Crown. He won an Emmy for The Crown. He was nominated for Andor. How can you judge a series of cinematography based on a 1 and 59-second teaser and claim it's good or bad just because it's too dark? I understand. It's like this. I try to see things from people's perspective. Why? Because if you take a screenshot from the Hogwarts Express scene from the movies, yes, it's different. On the series side, really, the series does look much darker.
Yes.
Okay, but I wanted to understand. And then comes a whole current criticism, which I don't disagree with, okay? That many movies nowadays have bad cinematography. I don't deny the criticism, but that's not true for Harry Potter. People are already making compilations from the teaser. And it's a beautiful thing to see. Yes, really, yes, it's wonderful. At least I thought so, right? I said, guys, how can you look at this and think that, I don't know. I'm not sure if that's just my view as a fan.
I think it's like a totally valid perspective because for me, there's a big difference between someone saying, for example, I didn't like the cinematography of the Harry Potter series.
Right.
Awesome. You might like the movie more and all, but to say, for example, that it's not technically good, that it could have been done differently, man, I remember that during the week of the teaser, I got a little annoyed. I think Kako already knows.
You get annoyed. So imagine us.
It's just that Kako commented on the post at the time, so I think you know which one it is. That someone shared a video from the series, and the person simply took the gamma, basically the brightness setting, and they increased it, like this. And she said, look how good it would look. Everything is all blown out.
How annoying, dear. And I remember that I
Wrote a huge long message.
And I made a really messed up image, didn't I?
No, it turned out all pixelated, like totally messed up. So I said, yeah, guys, really, like, Raquel from middle school is definitely going to know more than a guy who's only 2 years old.
And it's tough because, like, the thing is, I really think, like, man, nobody needs to be an expert to feel. Exactly. Like, what you felt is valid. Yeah, you can like it. The thing is, really, when you want to put a... Man, I've seen, if there's something that bothers me, it's those videos like, fixed it. Ugh. It's like, fixed what, man? You know?
you fix no.
CapCut.
Go fuck yourself, man. Imagine downloading an image on your iPhone, turning up the saturation and brightness, and saying you fixed the work of a conceptual director of photography.
No. What is this, man? Sorry, but that's too much. That's too much.
The guy's timeline must have like 15 color correction, things like that.
The guy thought, no, this one will just have the window light in Harry's eye. For the guy, man.
I increased the gamma.
I fixed it. Ready to boost the brightness? Then Harry...
But I understand that Adriano might have seen those criticisms. I think he saw them, okay? But I don't think he...
And he must have thought, screw it, man, dude.
They hired me because I'm the guy.
Man, fanning himself with a check like this.
And actually, he said he'll probably come back for the second and third seasons, because the visual identity that the series will have is already planned in pre-production.
Exactly.
The identity that the whole series, all the chapters and episodes will have, even if the director changes, right? Because Adriano himself said that he is the main director of photography, and we'll have other cinematographers. That means he says the visual is defined. What can change, of course, is right, but that's basically it.
An aesthetic choice at the moment can, something I also think a lot about regarding this feeling of being darker. It's because the series is really basing magic on this naturalism thing, right? We see a lot of that at Hogwarts, like with the tree thing. And the magic in the series, magic isn't being treated as something fantastic. Like, oh, magic. Where did the magic come from? Wow, it's just magic. It's just little lights and stuff. The series is treating it as something natural. Magic is part of nature. And witches are beings who are able to sense and manipulate it, right? And they have magic with them. It's something natural. It's that thing with the elements, right? Like the elements of the Hogwarts houses anyway. Yeah, so I think it would even sound kind of controversial to put in a whole naturalistic approach like that, right? Of a more down-to-earth and realistic castle, even though it's a magical castle, right? That has fantastic things. I think it would sound controversial to use the same cinematography as in the movies. Like, everything is very magical and then it gets darker.
Yes. No, and it's actually cool that you brought up this issue of naturalism, because that also fits really well with the script, right? Actually, the script and the cinematography is the translation of the script. The script is kind of like a guide, right? It's just there, showing which scene you're going to do and everything. That's why you rarely have a lot of technical details written in the script.
Right?
Yeah, except for basic things like fade in, fade out, those kinds of things, that's fine. But usually you don't have much. And this choice of nature is cool because it also, in a kind of metaphorical way, I would say, refers to the wizard himself, right? It's the wizard's nature. So Voldemort, he kind of wants to affect this nature directly, right? He thinks there's only, for example, pure blood. No, there's only one kind of wizard. He has to be like this. He has to follow this kind of behavior, this kind of thing. So it's interesting that this theme of nature goes beyond cinematography, in my opinion, and it directly affects the script. And for me, this could have served, yes, as a factor for them to choose this, you know? And another important thing I wanted to bring up is that Harry Potter actually relates a lot to this issue of photography changing, which we were talking about. Harry Potter is what we call a coming-of-age story. In other words, with each book, each movie, right? With each work, it changes a little, showing signs of maturity in the characters. We see them growing up, in other words, right? And there are many movies like that, right? Many franchises, including the most popular ones, are coming-of-age stories like Percy Jackson, which we joked about at the beginning, the Chronicles of Narnia, they're all coming-of-age stories.
I write it down in my notebook, coming of age story, psychological narrative.
I share everything on air, guys.
I share everything as a topic for future episodes.
Like, I know what I'm talking about.
Guys, you have a job. Every time you use these themes or the car, you tag me.
No, please, he's wondering how he'll look smart and knowledgeable like Miss Walters. You have the book I mentioned.
Sure, I saw it, I'll tell you.
Sure, coming of age plot. Diego got Miss Walters in.
You start using this theme.
Wow, how smart.
Hey, miss, I don't think so.
Sorry, I interrupted. Let her finish.
No.
I interrupted, sorry.
I went along with the joke.
Because I interrupted you interrupting her?
No. But just to finish the thought, this whole question of plot and character growth, right? It brings exactly that. It brings these small changes both in the script and in the cinematography to show how much this character is aging, how much he understands more about that world and maturing. So I think that Harry Potter contributes to the whole nature of it. All the choices they made in the series, for me, one thing complements the other.
Good. I also think a lot about the visual side of things now and how fans respond to that, right? Because it's like I said, there's no point. There are things fans don't care about, man. He doesn't care. He sees the thing and like he's going to compare it to the movie. He's like, man, this has been happening since the moment this series was announced, and since the moment they're making it, people are like, is the soundtrack going to be the same? Is the castle going to be the same? Wow, but they changed the crest. Ouch.
People said they'd accept all changes except to the soundtrack. They hired Hans Zimmer, but he insisted on doing everything the same way.
Let's put MP3 here.
It's over. Then it gets complicated.
Plug in the MP3, I'm old.
I understand that the songs are beautiful.
But it's because it hits that nostalgia thing, there's no way around it. But now I think, now going back to this, the way the scenes look. Let's use the snake scene at the zoo as an example. It plays out in such an iconic way, right? The snake escaping, Dudley falling into the cage, which is something the movie invented, right? How do you think the series is going to portray that? Because I think the big problem, I'll use problem in quotes, right? The series challenge won't be showing new things because they haven't been shown. So, yeah. But rather repeating scenes like that can't be left out of the story, you know? The snake escaping, Hagrid telling Harry that he's a wizard, them arriving in the little boats there at Hogwarts.
Harry's first time discovering Diagon Alley.
Like, how do you think they're going to take care of it?
What makes it different?
Right? Different. Without ruining it.
Because he's a director. He looks at the movies and says, my God, what a wonderful scene. The movies adapted this scene wonderfully well. How am I going to make this scene feel like mine while still being the same scene?
I understand. Yeah. So I believe, in my opinion, that this involves you adding a little more context. So, for example, you can notice, you can write a scene just a little before that scene that's so well known, right? The Cobra scene. Regardless of how they're going to do it, if they want to have Duda fall somewhere again, if they just want the glass to disappear, it doesn't matter. You can suddenly show a slight interest from Harry in snakes. Or suddenly something happens. A quick scene, me talking like 15 seconds. A scene of, I don't know, Walter watching a show, and then it shows, you know those like National Geographic ones? Yes. With animals. A snake appears and Harry understands it. Example. before showing the garden scene. It's like, look, it's magic escaping from Harry. It's like the first sign of magic inside him. This here, something simple. I just gave an idea that popped into my head, but it could be 1,000 times more elaborate. It could be any previous reference to snakes or to this issue of the zoological.
Something to build the path.
So, like, the scene remains similar, not the same, but it has the same intention, but the context to get there is more elaborate, and that brings the originality the series needs. Cool.
Yeah, because in the movie, Walter says, look, don't try anything funny. Harry gets in the car, Dudu's friend isn't there. In the leaked photos from the series, we've already seen that there will be a moment before this snake scene.
The thing with the penguins there?
Where they're going to be watching a penguin show there. So that's it. It's more character development because in that scene, there's the ice cream thing, right? She buys ice cream for Duda's friend, and she doesn't buy it for Harry.
Yeah, then when the vendor asks about Harry, she buys him the cheapest one.
Then she feels embarrassed.
Is Duda's ice cream really that big? I mean, the whole scene, I think it's going to have more development in the series, right? For example, look at what they did before that snake scene. I'll show you in a second. But let's take another example here. We talked about the zoo snake, but what about the entrance to Diagon Alley? There are things you just can't avoid. Yes, of course, but the photo...
The brick. The way you're going to film it will be different, you know? You know something I think would be really cool in Diagon Alley that could happen? That I think would be... That would bring a different perspective and at the same time would be magical. You know the opening of Hogwarts Legacy? After you play the beginning, there's the owl flying and the Hogwarts Express. If it were like that...
Like the owl's perspective, the owl's view, yeah.
As if it were an owl flying.
Like you show them coming in, then...
After opening the bricks, Hagrid says, "Welcome to Diagon Alley," and all. Having a view like flying like this would be more...
The whole alley, right?
That would be cool.
It would...
Or, well, something I just thought of right now. You said the alley is really big, right? Maybe they could use some kind of framing that stays really close to Harry and then pulls back to show the expanse of the whole path.
Like moving backwards like this? Yeah. As if it was following the path Harry is going to walk? Yeah.
Exactly, it's like this. Harry is the mic and the camera does this, look.
Got it. Upwards.
This creates a perspective where Harry seems tiny compared to the universe, which is very cool.
Awesome. Awesome.
And since Diagon Alley is really big, I think they're going to show a lot of aerial views.
Yeah, I think that's basically it, right? There's no way to change the story. It is what it is. It has a foundation, right? It has a foundation, but the way it's going to be shown with the angle, with everything, makes a difference, right? Yes. Of the scene.
Wow, it's really... For me, it's really not bizarre, I won't use that word, but to really test these differences like Diagon Alley, them in the little boat. And to understand that in the movie, they also had a vision at the time, right? And now with the series, they have a much more complete vision because they know what's going to happen in the next books. So there are places in Hogwarts that they know will be important and new places. Now we're going to have a staff room, like you said. I thought that was really cool. To give more context and also have time to develop the characters more, the presence of a staff room is exactly for that.
Exactly.
It's going to show a lot of those little chats, right? Of course, the staff room does appear in Sorcerer's Stone in the book. I know, but they chose not to create it there. They wanted you to connect more with the schools behind the scenes, right? Exactly. What does that represent? To see what Snape does in the staff rooms, for example.
You know, there's something I'm really looking forward to that I think could be an interesting addition. It's the girls' dormitory. Yes.
Yes, that's true.
Wow.
Sometimes I wonder what Hermione's relationship is like with the other girls. Like she's quote-unquote annoying, a know-it-all, and the boys keep teasing her. And the girls think she's annoying, a know-it-all. They kind of reject Hermione a little. That's why she gets closer to the boys.
Because we only see her as nice. We don't really.
I thought that her friends, let's say, right? The only girls who get close to Hermione in the books are the ones who are already in the clique, right? Like us.
No. That's it, yeah.
Yeah, there are only a few that get mentioned. And what if the series explains why?
Yeah, that's cool.
I wonder if it's interesting. I wonder if the girls kind of...
Or show first, in the scene where you show the girls' dormitory for the first time, show a boy trying to climb up and turning into a slide and him coming back down. Yeah, look at that. And it already shows, right, what happens if a boy tries to enter the girls' dormitory. But showing their relationship too, I think, is like that. I think it's amazing.
You know something I'm really curious to see too? How they're going to adapt the thing with the stairs, because the movie did that thing with the moving stairs, right? Right? It's not like that in the book, right? There are some steps that disappear, right? There is a way.
I thought it was dangerous, okay?
No, just imagine sticking your foot in that thing. Like, dude, imagine you're up there. So Harry gets his foot caught by the heel. No, go on.
There's Dumbledore saying, Aristo, I'm always having a moment.
Imagine if a student died there. Wow.
So what happened next? The staircase acted normal and the boy fell.
Dude, no, only if, I don't know, suddenly the school, it has some kind of cushioning area, yeah.
There's some protection.
Like, if you fall, the school catches you.
There are doors that pretend to be doors, right? Like a wall that pretends to be a door. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they're going to do that. And this thing about Hogwarts being alive, right? Hogwarts is always constantly changing. That's something I'm curious to see. And how the students will... How will that fit into students' daily routines?
I also keep thinking, like, how people, I think that shows in a scene in Sorcerer's Stone, the movie, right? That's what I'm referring to. Harry and Ron lost while searching for a classroom.
Before Minerva arrives, right? Transfiguration, that's it.
Guys, that's something I want to see more often, especially in their first year, because it makes me think of Hogwarts Legacy. It took me 20 business days to get to the mission because I was like, guys, the walk, everyone's calves, no.
They must have been huge.
Have you ever seen in Hogwarts Legacy the route from the Astronomy Tower to the Great Hall? What does Harry need to do to find the bee at Bellatrix by breaking the windows there? Or go to the forest, like just go there?
Dude, class was at 7:30, you have to leave the dormitory.
But the passages, right? There are passages.
There are, but just in the first year.
But man, the passages aren't, they're not common knowledge.
The class starts at 7:30, but you leave your dorm at 5 in the morning.
You have to wake up early. No, man. And honestly, I think that's really cool about Hogwarts, that it's so big you can get lost. That's really awesome, man.
There should be a small map, I think.
For the first year students. And look, in Hogwarts Legacy, I was against using the Flu Network, okay? I wanted to walk around to explore everything. No, there's no way. It took me forever to get anywhere.
Do you think that's something they could address in the series?
Oh, it would be really cool to talk about that.
Wouldn't a flue powder fireplace be amazing? Wow.
It would be really cool.
Starting from Chamber of Secrets, seeing the students.
I think they won't. It would be really cool, man. It could make things a bit easier there, but I think it would break the magic of the maze a little, you know?
I think maybe, look, we could find a middle ground. Maybe they could start using flu powder from the third year on.
Yeah, something like that. Or maybe from the second year since it's already introduced, I don't know.
In the second year, not all of them. You can't use them all.
With Flu Powder. Imagine using it. Man, I'm going to arrive through the fireplace in Snape's classroom. You show up late.
Yeah, Snape, right? No, but I think it's cool. And look, another thing I think is really awesome. We saw in the documentary that the sets are all connected to each other now, right? Now, the Leaky Cauldron set is connected to Diagon Alley, or the Hogwarts set over there. We can see that now they go in. We see them entering in the teaser. And then you'll see the students going into this great hall. When they leave, you'll have the staircases back there. And all of that was built. You see in the documentary that it was all built. And the fact that they built one set connected to another. Besides, of course, the director being able to take advantage of that in the filming, do you think there's something more to it? Or do you think that's exactly what it's for? For the director to play around with the students going from one room to another? For all of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can really play around with transitions. You know that thing where, like, sometimes the camera passes in front of a wall and then when it keeps going, wow.
I think that's what they're going to do, you know?
It's another setting. You can do this transition in a way that you don't need to edit much. It's just camera positioning. Wow.
Because then, that's it. A wall comes, like a dark wall comes in, and then he's already in the other hallway, right? Yeah. Wow, that's really cool, you know? I hadn't thought about it that way.
The movie 1917.
Yeah, the War One.
The one with the guy running.
Yeah, this movie does that a lot. He's always running past a pillar. If there's a pillar in the movie, you already know that's going to happen.
You bet.
I think they're going to do that in the series too.
That's really crazy. I think with the series, the idea is exactly to give that sense of realism with those interconnected environments so the camera doesn't necessarily need to have cuts. Yeah. You you know?
No, because you can, do a single take, you can do a long take, what they call a sequence shot, right? That's it. A sequence shot shows the student leaving the great hall and going somewhere, often with subtle transitions. You might not even notice the cut, right?
Exactly. No, you won't notice.
I believe their idea is to make it so it is.
Yeah, so while, for example, some people are entering a room, you can have the rest of the students going up the stairs and the camera moves along.
This prevents it from looking like an odd cut, like in Chavez.
But that's really not it.
Yeah, but seriously, when I talk about a weird cut, like in Chavez shit, there's a scene in Half-Blood Prince that has a Chavez-style cut, man.
What's a Chavez-style cut?
Chavez-style cut, you know when, like, there's a special effect and the racket hits someone in the mouth? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah, especially on Silberiga. That's right. Wow.
You act like a bull, right?
Yeah, no, it's a lot. Or when Sumadruga drinks gasoline, smokes a cigar, and explodes. I love that. You can even see the device that explodes in the shot, like this.
It's funny,
I like it too.
Yeah, that's a scene from Half-Blood Prince.
When Seamus puts the thing in the cauldron and it explodes, it's true.
It's true.
There really is. Really? Weird. It's weird.
It's potions class, right? Yeah.
Even Gino is...
But does he throw the thing? Yeah.
He throws, Gino's head is like this, then out of nowhere he's like this. Look, wow, I swear to you, yeah, man, it's really weird. Oh, I'm going to use the guys like this, man. Nobody will notice. No.
There was no continuity person, okay?
Dude, it's bizarre. Like, Seamus throws it to set it off.
I'll have to watch this when I get home.
He plays to explode. Like, he plays in the pressure cooker and it's going to blow up, right? But then after the explosion, he's like, wow.
Seriously?
Man, really serious. And Gino is like turned like this and out of nowhere he's like this. Like, it's really abrupt, man. Really abrupt. Yeah.
The 0 days without talking bad about David Yates counter goes back to 0. No.
But that's it. We're back to 0 episodes without talking, but the guy...
Yeah, the guy at the editing table, there are people who, you just said the term, there's this continuity person. So is there someone whose only job is that or not?
The continuity person isn't at the editing table, but at the recording.
In the day-to-day there. Yeah.
They're at the recording. So for example, if I'm here with this jacket and suddenly I left it like folded like this, the continuity person will say, look, your jacket was like this.
Yeah, in Harry Potter, there are a bunch of mistakes like that. There are. There's continuity, right? No.
It's the most common mistake, I would say. Yeah.
In productions, when, for example, when Harry calls the night bus there, by accident he falls, his jacket is all hanging off. Then, when it shows in the next scene, the jacket is all neat. Like, man, it's weird, guys.
Dude, I'm eager to catch mistakes too.
I love it. I really love it.
That Starbucks cup thing in that Game of Thrones episode, you know? Damn. Man, the continuity, there's no way nobody noticed that, dude. Sorry, it's just not possible. Sorry.
Speaking of The Walking Dead, we were talking about it earlier. There's an episode of The Walking Dead, I think it's like season 8, where you can see Negan's cell phone in his pocket.
You're kidding, yeah.
There's like a bump, it's just the tip of the iPhone, Yeah. Oh my god, Negan has a cell phone.
No.
In Chamber of Secrets, in the Jewel scene, there's the guy who's the secret camera there. Did you see? Drago.
Caio.
The secret camera guy, he's right there, man. Look, dude.
And the models and the moments when you can see the stunt doubles on screen, wow.
There is, man, with Ron on the horse.
Did you see the one with Lupin? The one with Ron on the horse is rough?
No, not the one with Lupin's mess.
Bro.
Ron's is a horse.
That horse is rough, man. Snape, have you seen it? He already looks like he came straight out of Azkaban before even getting out of bed. No.
I don't think so.
It's Snape, Harry Dog, and Swilliamus on him. Pause the frame. The guy going backward is wearing a black wig. Then you say, my God.
Bro, Lupin's is when they're in the Boggart scene, and it's right in Parvati's scene when there's the snake, which is the scene that even has the stunt double for Harry, Ron, and Hermione. There, right? I think in that scene they said, man, we should have filmed a shot from above like this. Let's redo it. Get everyone together, all the extras.
And wasn't it Lupin too? No?
Dude, wow, no. Seriously?
That's different. The kids were at school at that time.
It's really different, man. The guy looks like this, all weird, with Lupin's wig, and he keeps moving like this.
You're kidding?
Babe, I swear to you.
It happens.
Guys,
It happens. I think I mess up the big aquarium at the time, but I don't think anyone, man.
the effects. I don't think anyone noticed.
Yeah, the first one's visual effects.
No, I noticed.
By the way, the HBO guy's biggest fear is people analyzing it, you know? The guy is going to analyze it frame by frame. He's going to find the camera. He's going to find, wow, then it'll go viral. It'll get canceled, and it'll be your fault. I'm just kidding. But, man, this kind of thing really gets to me. I've been wanting to say this since the first... We recorded 2 episodes today, right, guys? I've been wanting to say this since the first one, and it's going to be the most random thing you've ever heard in my life, in your life. But, I have to talk about this since we talked about Game of Thrones. Man, Ed Sheeran was in an episode of Game of Thrones, dude. I've been wanting to say that since...
We recorded singing.
Dude, that's so weird, sorry.
Singing?
No, singing. It's even stranger they allow it. He wasn't that famous, maybe a little, but that's beside the point. Ed Sheeran in this scene, that's it.
For me, it's like this. They could have put him in a helmet and without singing, then they could have faked it better.
No, man, because I think he was... I remember that Ed Sheeran said, him singing, look. In fact, he regrets it a little. He said he asked... I've heard him say once, not that he regrets it, but he sees that he was. He mentioned the city's name where they were recording and was friends with the director. And he said, I'm a big fan of the series, but man, no, and I saw it too. For me, it ruins the whole vibe of the scene. Sorry, man. Ed Sheeran out of nowhere in Game of Thrones, man. Man, sorry.
I noticed they wanted it to be a surprise.
It's over.
We loving you. Wow, just imagine, man. Wow, that's crazy. No.
They see them arrive. I'm in love with the shape of you.
No, sorry, I recently rewatched that scene and thought, there's no way they approved this. I said, man, you can show up, but, oh man, say he'll show up at, it's the editing, man.
It's the same vibe as when you're watching Money Heist and Neymar shows up.
Does Neymar show up in Money Heist?
Neymar shows up in Money Heist. He's like a guy who's giving...
But does he take off the mask? He does?
He comes in, what's that place called? A monastery where there are lots of nuns and monks.
And Neymar shows up. Is he a good monk?
No, he doesn't. Like, a bunch of people come in, a lot of monks with hoods, you know. And then he talks to Bear, I think it's Berlin? I'm not sure. He just takes off his hood like this.
And he like says a couple of words.
Yeah, damn, it's a scene.
No, the guy shows up with a bunch of earrings, you know? And I'm like, guys, why did they do this? Nothing.
I love this guy's impressions. Look it up. Did you see him imitate Neymar? He's as wild as Neymar. Dude, people say he has nothing to do with Neymar, but he's the best Neymar impersonator in Brazil.
It's the way he imitates Neymar.
Like him doing that for the fans.
In the World Cup spirit.
I'm really excited for the World Cup.
No, seriously, look it up. Senna, Neymar, La Casa de Papel.
It's random, right?
It's going to be the worst thing that...
You'll ever see in your life. It's too random. But Harry Potter isn't at risk of having that kind of thing. Then Kako shows up.
With Cacão, actually, I couldn't talk about Tá Pensando.
Right, with the creators to do a little scene there. That's Kako with the hat over there and Fala Aí.
Which?
He is the clerk at the Leaky Cauldron.
Honestly, hey, I have a big dream about the Harry Potter series. Like, hey, just let me be an extra, but I don't want to have any lines or anything. I just want to be in the background.
Put a mug like this in front of Hagrid.
Just in the background, you know? Walking through the no?
I don't want to have any lines. I don't want to... Sorry, my brother. I don't want any interaction with your Dominique. That's not what I want.
I don't talk to camera. No, seriously, it would be crazy to walk in the alley.
Man, I don't want to talk to Banderantes, right? He shines on camera, okay? No.
I know you guys are going to say that I'm wrong.
Guys, what's going on?
Me, humble, right, man?
What's happening in this episode?
Man, sorry, go on.
Man, humility, right? I don't want any lines, right?
He wants to talk to the cameras, guys.
Turn it off. But it happened, didn't it? There was a reporter in Half-Blood Prince who was covering behind the scenes, and he shows up in the twin shop. Did you know that?
That's showing up like, or...
For example, he appears in the background messing with things, but nothing major.
It'd be cool if you were eating at the Leaky Cauldron. That would be so Renan. Imagine the reference.
No.
I would, really, the scene where I appeared, I would put...
No, I'd frame it like I'm in Harry Potter, man. Check it out. Which one?
Look here.
I love that world, guys. Are you kidding? That'd be awesome.
Man. Guys, I've seen a lot of videos of Miss... I didn't want to touch on this controversial topic because it's still very recent, okay? Artists...
Here we go.
Yeah, that's right. It's a recent topic. I know you might still be shaken. Let's go. But we couldn't have Miss here and not talk about something like the 5th season of Stranger Things, right, Miss? So, I just wanted to understand, for crying out loud.
What a great episode today.
That's it. Thank you.
I went to watch that documentary they show, right? So, why did they release that documentary? Did you see that documentary?
It's a conspiracy theory.
No, they showed like the directors kind of not knowing what to do.
No, they say, yeah, literally, they
There are the screenwriters too.
Right? No, just kidding. Actually, I'm not kidding. They came and said, look, we have, 4 more months to shoot. Yeah, where's the documents so we can do the set design, right? Blah, blah, blah. So they haven't sent it to us yet.
Bro.
So send it. What are we going to use? I have the notes from the meeting here.
Remember how one big question was about the lack of other creatures in the world? Uh-huh. Like, where are he said,
they were around. Didn't he say something like that? Yeah.
Man, it's like in Star Wars, The Force Awakens, you know, how did Palpatine return? Somehow.
Somehow.
Palpatine returned. For God's sake.
Man, for me, it was more about when they asked.
Wow, man, seriously.
When they asked them, like, wow, we know that Vecna, you know, Henry Creel, he studied with Joyce and Hopper. Was there any discussion about creating a scene of them talking? For sure, they did talk. Yes, a conversation happened, but it was off camera. That's complicated. I said, no. I said, that's enough. That's enough. I said, that's enough. That's enough.
Man, dude. And Stranger Things, I really like it a lot because it started out so cool, right, man? Man, it's phenomenal. It started out so cool. But this last one, I was really like, what a crappy ending.
Look, we had those movies from around 2000, and after the Harry Potter movies ended, 2011 until 2016, which is when the first season of Stranger Things came out, I think Stranger Things, I'll tell you, okay? It was the cultural phenomenon that came the closest. True. That the Harry Potter movies were, after 2011, of course, we had the MCU, like Winter Soldier, around that time, Civil War.
Yeah, I think except for Marvel, it was...
But the big last event of the MCU saga was Avengers Endgame. Now, you know, they'll have to prove themselves in these next two Avengers movies. But I think what came closest, and it was one of the strategies, actually, of Sam Levinson, who is and the Duffer Brothers, right? Sam Levinson is the director. No, I didn't say it wrong, no.
Yeah, no, it's
the Duffer Brothers, right? No, it's the Deadpool guy, right? Because he did the...
Stranger Sean Levy, that's who you're talking about. Sam Levinson is the duffer.
Wow, that's it. Okay, Sean Levy, right? That's it. I think the idea, they saw it, and they've already admitted this in many interviews, you can't deny it, that Harry Potter was a big, like, inspiration, right? It was. And another thing, we would get to see kids again.
Exactly. Damn.
And it's really like that. But they took so long that meme from Grown Ups, yeah, fit perfectly. Have you seen it? No, seriously. You must have seen it, have you? No.
No, I've seen it.
The Grown Ups one, like Stranger Things season whatever, and then like there's Adonis Sam.
Because they really messed up the wigs, you know? Wow. I hated the wigs.
I think it's the same with the costumes, right? The same with the costumes, too.
Right? But honestly, the wigs were awful. It's like, I was like, guys, what was up with Eleven's wig in season 4?
That huge hair. You know that meme of Will crying in the car? That wasn't it. That was the vision. It looks like a finger.
I was there. I only saw Mike's vision.
It's really good. This scene is really good, man. It's really good.
That's why I ask, Stranger Things started strong and they likely didn't expect it to become such a phenomenon. Yes, they obviously expected it to be a success, but it wasn't just a success, it was a phenomenon. It got everyone excited. I think it was maybe the first big worldwide phenomenon from Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if La Casa de Papel came before, but no.
That one didn't have the same impact.
The level was Stranger Things in that context level. There were other hits before, but like Stranger Things was something else.
And then, seeing that it was probably the biggest hit, they said, let's start pre-production on the second season since the actors grow up in the second one. But what I really feel is that the fourth season was a milestone in television, for me.
The fourth season was way too obvious, guys.
Flying there, Max flying was, and...
Like, I saw people commenting on social media, I saw people posting that scene, so many edits with that song, and a season, man.
The song came back, the song went back to the top of the charts, man.
Such a well-made season with such a good ending, and I genuinely wonder what happened to whom, so I get sad.
So, the fourth season, for me, is one of the best, you know? I really, really like it. And then, the fifth O...
The time between one and the other was one of the factors, you know?
Where are all the creatures? The bats didn't show up anymore.
The stuff, no, like, I have my conspiracy theories, but they do have some basis.
I think the pandemic messed things up, too.
The bats gave everyone COVID.
Man, I think not. I think there was a really big problem in the production of Stranger Things. Even though Sean Levy is a great director, in my opinion, he's not a very good producer. Because he's kind of a diva, in my opinion, you know? He's kind of like, Stranger Things is never going to get canceled, so I'll just do it however I want. I'll do it whenever I can. And then he focused on Deadpool, he focused on a bunch of other productions. In this last season, the Duffer Brothers were focusing on 2 other productions they were working on. And then comes the point for me that I think that's where things really went wrong. Yeah, in the 5th season from the Duffer Brothers, if I'm not mistaken, it's Ross Duffer because they're 2 brothers, right? Yes, Ross Duffer got divorced. And his wife, she was a screenwriter since the 1st season. And one of the main screenwriters. Guess which season she missed?
The last one now.
The last one. And she worked a lot on the episodes that had a lot of female character development. Guess which female character got tossed aside? Helena. You know?
So now there has to be a spin-off about 11. She comes back as a writer, and that would be the guys...
The guys also can't separate them.
Crazy, right? But one thing's for sure, this spin-off is definitely happening.
Of course, of course.
In 6 years, Netflix will revive Stranger Things.
Right? Or I think so.
In fact, I'll bet anyone.
I think it's going to be a movie.
Movie?
Yeah, it has to be a movie. I'd choose a 2-hour one since that's trending now, like the new Peaky Blinders movie.
The Breaking Bad one.
Yeah, they had the idea to make a movie of Outlander, which is another series that just ended. So this movie thing, I think it takes less time to film. You can wrap things up properly. You don't need the whole cast.
That's true. That's really true, yeah.
And man, yeah, not to mention that little final scene of...
Did she die or not?
So man,
The intention, I think she died, sorry.
of course not.
She didn't die.
I don't think so. The final little scene at the waterfalls, it was filmed about 2 months before the series premiered because they hadn't filmed it. So for me, Netflix put their foot down and said,
She's not gonna die, no.
Of course, it was taped 2 months before the series debuted.
in Iceland 2 months prior, only 3 from the production were filming. Millie Bobby Brown, who plays 11, and the Duffer Brothers, along with a local Icelandic team. So they filmed the whole ending. Netflix saw it and said, no way, you're not going to end by killing off the person who brings in the money for this series, for God's sake.
And the way Mike tells it in the RPG, right there on the board, it's so real, it's so emotional.
I don't know. It's just that I always defend it, you know? Mike never made up fake news to deal with grief. In the second season, it's the same story. Can you believe it? They used the same ending as in the second season. Some smoke comes out of the kids and it goes to God knows where and it wasn't destroyed. And then 11 disappears. No, just like the end of the first season, right? And even in mourning, Mike never made things up. So just to wrap up this aside, right? I believe they're going to lean into a Stranger style structure and there are 3 more spin-offs coming out,
An animated short just came out.
right? An animated short just came out, but
The animation remained niche and didn't attract a casual audience. It mostly appealed to a specific group.
right? Yeah, it's a different audience.
Like Fantastic Beasts. The first one even reached the casual audience, yes, but the others were very niche.
But like the animation is cool. It's just that if you like 11, you suffer. Because you see her there happy and all, and you're like, oh my God, they just threw the girl away. But I do believe that they did make an ending there in an attempt at an open ending. But to this day, the only people who haven't said anything about 11's future are actually the Duffer Brothers. No, actually the actors who play Mike and 11. They canceled the event, guys, so they wouldn't participate, so they wouldn't do it, so they wouldn't talk. Then I said they can't talk because, yeah.
You know, maybe they even already know, right?
Exactly. And recently I noticed something in a script, right? Because we're in the season of M submission. And then they submitted everything from Stranger Things. Here's something interesting. When they submit a script, it becomes available on the M website for everyone to see.
I hope the Harry Potter one becomes available. There's a chance.
Right? For sure.
Definitely. Wow, I'll download it.
It's available there to download, and that's it.
The script. I'd print it out right away. 200 pages. Wow.
I totally used to do that, okay? Look, let me see. So when that happens, you call me, then we'll translate the terms from the script.
All right, cool.
Cool. But anyway, there are some terms they use in the waterfall scene with 11. They say fast forward. Like, yeah, it would be like a vision of the future. So if it was an illusion, if it was anything like that, they wouldn't use that term. And then the gossip gets better. Because after people started noticing that in less than 24 hours, M took down the script.
Look at that.
Then I was like, look,
But then there's...
if not, he arrived. I lowered it.
Then...
My friend, it's online. It's out there.
It has been covering Stranger Things for 10 years, right? I downloaded.
I did everything there, and that's when... But one thing I liked about the ending was that transition scene to the kids playing. Really? Cool. I thought that was cute. Nice.
Mike's conversation.
The second time I watched it, I thought it was cute, but the first time my face was already like this big.
You know, I hope not.
It's literally, you guys see my reaction from the moment 11 disappears and she doesn't come back. I'm like this.
See, and the other time?
My whole face was red like a tomato because I cried so much.
Let me just move over here a bit. Yes, sorry. You take a character like 11 and No, take her sister, who was one of the most criticized characters from the second season, in the episode that shows Eleven and Tides, those siblings there. Do you like them? I love them.
I think it's really boring.
Wow.
Then you get it, I understand.
But no. Then you make the girl come back from in the last season like so much. But yeah, sorry, but that scene where everyone is together is such a meme. No, before it doesn't work, man. Why are there so many people? No, and adding more people around there just to make it even more of a joke, man, dude.
Why have so many people gained weight in the kitchen? No.
Will, yeah, man.
When Will is talking over there, man,
Will coming out, then the crowd is just some random people who
they've never seen the kid. He never met him and asked, who's this kid claiming he's gay?
like this, look.
Man, you don't even know the kid. Picture Kaylee seeing the kid and saying, this is the kid? Seriously? Oh,
No, man, no.
cool, awesome, buddy.
The guy went from not coming out to being 70 different people.
Guys, in the 80s.
No, man, remember we can't. The 80s, but talking about this,
Right? I had to bring up Stranger Things a little because you can't have an episode with Miss Walker.
No, man, but despite that scene being kind of pathetic, having an audience there, I think his speech is really beautiful. Like what he says, like the script is really good. Yeah, the script is really beautiful.
And putting aside controversies unrelated to the actor, what's his last name again? Yeah.
no snap.
Putting controversies aside, I think he's a great actor, At least no.
To be honest with you, since the first season, I don't care about the actor's controversy, his personal life, whatever, man. I don't care about him, We're talking about the show. I'm always bothered by these reservations people make, like, oh, the actor, whatever. It's fear of being canceled, People nowadays on the internet, like, no, I like this, but the actor, whatever. Who cares about the actor, man? Leave him be. Yeah.
I just know that the studio is fixed. And I just know that Will, in the first season and the second, especially in the second, I think he's under the effect of, well, right? No, I know, wow, I always thought he acts a lot.
That kid.
He acts really well. One of the highlights of the season. And I thought that even his story, it's a shame that I think there were some seasons where he wasn't explored that much. But whenever they focus more on Will and Stranger Things, you feel that thing, right? Yeah. Wow, you see no.
And it's really crazy because in the beginning, if you look at the first scripts, like from the first season, he's what we call the primary protagonist. So he would play the role that 11 does. Then after the first season ended and 11 was a big success, I think they tried to balance things out, but then they forgot to keep developing Will. Yeah, that's true. They developed both, but later stopped with Will and continued the other.
With 11. They remembered Will last season.
It was that part where no!
Did you see when they say he looks a lot like Daniel Radcliffe? Have you ever noticed that?
Wow, really?
And I've seen a lot of people comparing them, haven't you? Especially in that scene where he rolls his eyes back and they turn all white. He doesn't look like him, so I don't want to hear it.
All right, that's enough. Oops. So, we're here at the radio station. What's the name of the station? It's WSKK.
WSQK.
WSQK, our podcast about Stranger Things. Yeah, see, that's right.
That appears at the start of the pilot, correct? Each one making the transition.
Yeah. So we're here in our special Stranger Things episode, but look, this thing about killing off characters, we can bring that up with Harry Potter too. Did you know that a lot of people thought Harry would die in the last book?
Yes.
Back then, yeah. And there was even talk about Harry dying, But I think that's the thing. Stranger Things doesn't really have the guts to kill off characters. I know, like, oh, you don't have to kill anyone, fine. But in Harry Potter, we actually suffer. Yeah. There are characters who die, but they're dead. They're dead. I don't want to hear it. Fred dies. Dobby, he dies too. Tonks just had a baby. She dies.
Goodbye. But, like, the biggest main character who died in Harry Potter, who would you say it was? Dumbledore, right? Dumbledore. After my friend...
Dumbledore.
Then Sirius, then Snape.
I put Snape last.
No.
Come on, get out of here.
I wanted to put Bellatrix in the running.
And Snape, man, we only find out he's awesome after he dies. We only find out what he was up to. Yeah, that's true. It's when he dies. So no, man.
But then he's so awesome that his death makes a difference. Yeah.
The first one is Dumbledore.
That's a fact, I think.
No, I already shared Dumbledore. No, Pizzo. When Dumbledore died, my friend, for me it was like the world ended. Yeah, the world ended. Because anything could happen. Dumbledore was there.
I remember the feeling in my stomach while reading like Severus, please, in the book.
Wow. No. People were speculating about every point of that sentence to see if Snape was evil.
Snape was wonderful.
Look it up on YouTube. It's really good. A video from 2009.
2009, pretty recent.
Yeah, was it in 2009 that the 6th book was released? No, 2006.
Are you crazy? The book is from 2006. The last book is from 2007, 2006.
One of the first Harry Potter viral things is if you search for Snape kills Dumbledore. You'll see a guy in a car like this driving past a bookstore like Barnes & Noble, right? Uh-huh. Snape kills Dumbledore because he honks the horn. Snape kills Dumbledore, then everyone Dumbledore kills, yeah. Then he just speeds up the car, man. It makes me so mad, seriously.
Like Sheldon, right? That one's really good. Dumbledore dies. Yeah.
Then Leonard, just by the way,
I'm really looking forward to watching Stuart's show. Do you like The Big Bang Theory?
I haven't seen all of it, but I like what I've watched.
I'm looking forward to watching Stuart's show.
man, I really like watching Big Bang Theory. This is going to be one of those famous shows that nobody expects much from, but it'll be a hit with critics.
I felt the same way when I saw the trailer. I wasn't expecting much, but thought, damn, that's awesome.
And HBO, they always deliver something that, well, there are some things, but it's good.
Making sure to keep the job, making sure to keep the job.
Not at all. We get nothing here, but we're all HBO, right? My We Watched It schedule is open.
Hi, how are you? Let's talk. My schedule is open in December.
So, if you want to do one...
I talk a lot about Benvita, Gary.
Okay, yeah, look, there you go. It's true.
Hey.
Hey, Giovanna. Which series do you feel you had the most impact covering?
Like Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Stranger Things was what really threw me in. Like, it launched me into the geek scene, you know? I had been on YouTube since 2008, 2007, around that time, but I wasn't really creating content. I was posting subtitled content. So, for example, I would take Comic-Con, whatever it was, CCXP, and I would add subtitles. So
Okay.
I did it like that because I wanted to.
I was always around. Didn't you show up when the channel started?
No, I didn't show up. Okay. So I just did the subtitles and people, like, they said something in an interview, can you do the subtitles, Misa? And that's how it was, Sawasdi. So that's how I started working for websites, right? Because of this video editing work. And then much later on, I tried to make other types of content like a blog. I discussed Game of Thrones and talked a lot about The Walking Dead. It didn't get serious until 2016.
Man, by the way, I found something really awesome the other day.
Found what? Now I'm scared.
Look, now you're going to have to. I'm scared now.
He is taking a picture of me from 2008. No. Ha, those Orchid photos, you know? Here you go.
No. No. Those...
Orchid photos, you know? Take this photo.
It's a good thing Orkut ended, because if someone found my 12 photos that were on Orkut, my photos, my 12, yeah, because it was limited, guys. You could only post 12, yeah, exactly. So you had to choose carefully.
And the videos, you could only upload a limited number of.
Wow, yeah.
So, yeah, there were just a few limited categories there.
Man, anyway, I'm not gonna find it. But now I'm curious. I took a screenshot once and recently, and I said, wow, that's cool. There was a time, what am I going to say? There was a time when I was looking for an editor for Calderon Furado, and you sent an email. It's true. Look, you emailed saying, I'm Miss Walker. When I found that email, and like we already knew each other and all, right, from events and everything, I said, wow, that's so cool. And like, it was really cool to see the email, because at that time you weren't really creating content like you do today. And like, you sent the email because I was looking for an editor. And now, man, we're here together exchanging emails. I thought that was really cool. So I took that email and said, man, I'm going to save this email. But I don't know if I printed it here or if I saved it somewhere. But I had that email and I just remembered now. That's cool.
But I confirm, guys, it's true.
Then I said, wow. At the time, I didn't even realize. I don't think I knew either.
Right? But no, like you said, I wasn't really, like, focused on content creation.
How cool. Well, that's cool. It's nice when the content gives us a boost like that, right? We didn't feel that as much since we've always been Harry Potter fans, right, Uncle? Yeah, finding a community that embraces you is really great. Just the thing about, of course, obviously you even mentioned the thing about haters, right? About people insulting you and all that. Obviously, Diego and I have our own pet haters. Yeah, I think we all do. But the thing is, I think it's admirable when you create, a type of content. And you can embrace other types of content too. Like, you're in that niche, but you can do other things. Me, even if I wanted to, I couldn't. Because people even say, man, I wish I could see a Game of Thrones channel like Calderon Furado. I say, man, I wish I could see something about, I don't know, some other topic. I say, and people have even suggested to me, hey, talk about another topic and stuff. Man, I can't talk about, I mean, I'm a fan of other things, but I'm not a content creator for other things. Yes, my focus is really Harry Potter. I create content because I'm a Harry Potter fan, not the other way around. I didn't start making Harry Potter content just because I was already creating content. My fandom led to it. So I think it's really amazing when, in this case, there's another acquaintance who's, I don't know if you know, Matthias Jusinski.
I know him.
I know him. It was Projeto Corneta, then it changed. He started talking about The Walking Dead too. Yeah, then he did a bunch of other stuff and all that. I think it's really cool. No?
And it's really crazy for you to say that. Because, like, I started making content because I wanted a portfolio specifically for my film work, you know? So yeah, I thought I want to do something different from, say, trailer analysis. Everyone does analyses. Each person has their own really interesting points to add. I thought, what do I have that I can bring that's different that people don't know? And then I ended up focusing on cinematography, right? On things that people liked. And then I did the same with Stranger Things. I remember the first video on Planto Geek, which is my channel, was a theory about Mike being a victim in the 3rd season. Because there was this narrative gap in case they wanted to explore it, right? And then, like, man, I recorded this video at college. It was a day we had a shoot there for some filming. I don't even remember what. And we got an extra day. And then we had the day left over, and I had all that equipment there because we managed to get it. I worked, and I thought, man, what am I going to do?
And then I recorded.
I didn't have a camera, microphone, or anything yet when I went to the Chroma Key studio.
That was there at the college.
At the college, I recorded it. It worked out, so I thought, now what? There's no way I can rent one. Cool, right?
I said, okay, now what?
I couldn't see the place, but should I go now? I paused for a while, then bought equipment. I used to record everything in my room with the door closed. And nowadays, Planton Geek is kind of in a phase where it's trying to get into other niches. Because I went through that, like I just mentioned a little while ago, right? I spent 10 years making content about Stranger Things. And it only worked with Stranger Things, so now I'm trying to make a transition. So I picked Percy Jackson, which is a series I've been reading since 2007. Harry Potter, I've been following since around that same time too, so I said, okay, now is my chance to try investing in another niche. That's right, and that's what I'm doing, you know?
I'm going and saying what the...
That I like. But there are some topics, for example, that I would like to talk about, but I know they won't work either. I just say it won't work. It won't work because people won't respond to it that well.
Yeah, that's what the internet does. It kind of makes us a bit of a hostage sometimes. I'm not saying I'm a hostage to Harry Potter. I do it because I really like it. Yes, yes. But I'm sure that if I changed the content, there would be a drastic drop like that. And there are people who obviously will stay, will keep following. Of course there are. But I understand it's a big challenge, you know. It's not a challenge I want. Now, especially with the series which will have 10 years of episodes.
When the news about the series broke, you were the first people I thought of. I said...
No, we were kind of like,
Contract renewed. The idea for the podcast, I said, Kaku. Now I said, for God's sake, man, 10 years of the series. No, absolutely right. I always joke with Kako that after the 10 seasons are over, I want to sit like Thanos and thank the universe. How does he say it? Yeah, sit. Yeah.
The sunset in a grateful universe. Then Thor comes and cuts your head off.
No, man, I just want to rest and enjoy everything as a fan much later. No.
I'm sure, no.
Stay tuned. Some Harry Potter spin-offs should be coming out soon, right?
Wow.
Then it'll already be with Katarina.
Then I hope that my teenage son already... Wow.
But just imagine how exciting it would be to have tea with Katarina.
It would be really cool. It would be really cool if she liked it.
I would cry, just imagine you.
Imagine him there taking off his hat, then his hair comes off. Me too.
I say.
Wow, I love my hair.
Hair stuck to the hat.
I was gonna say, wow, I saw her post in the scene.
Like that fake nose and mustache. That would be so cool, right? That would be really crazy.
The guy takes it off just like Woody in Toy Story 5, right? Man, Kako there with the crown shining.
You know that final scene from Toy Story 3 where the car is going and all the toys are just standing still? It would be like Kako's collection and him going to... I already told Katarina...
I've already said this here is your inheritance, okay?
I'm searching for this on eBay. That's why over there.
My friend. That's why I say to Raisa like this. Look, do you know the price of everything here? Everything. I don't say like I paid 100 rays but actually paid 500. It's so, you know, when I die, how much you can sell this for, my daughter. So you don't sell it, Diego.
The cod from, Chamber of Secrets cods. This one you just bought here is worth... No?
No, not at all. I told her, Raisa, I joke about it, but I also mean it seriously, right? I say, man, if I die tomorrow, sell all this stuff, my daughter. You can sell everything.
Look, knock 3 times because you have to. You have 10 years of the series ahead of you.
So you'll host your show by yourself? No, just me alone?
Session. Oh, no,
Yes, it.
No, I was going to call someone.
No, I was going to call Good Nerd.
It's this isolated session. Isolated session.
That's us.
Isolated session?
Session, put my cutout here, you know?
You're crazy, cardboard caco.
What do you think, cardboard caco?
Then add a voiceover to this one. Oh, that's awful. No.
Yeah, you're crazy.
You're crazy. No, I deal with it very naturally. One day we'll all go. You have...
Do you guys have anything to wrap up today's episode?
I do. Yeah, I just wanted to say that I hope they don't change anything in the series, that it stays the same as the movie.
Oh, well, that's a good point. Misa, you have... Just kidding. So, I wanted you to say something to the audience because we have our own base here from the session reserved and among our base of followers. There are nostalgic fans, there are fans who are really excited for the series, and of course, there are the skeptical ones. And I wanted you, with your knowledge, Misa, what can you say to these people about this TV series project? But mainly not what they can expect, but with what perspective do you think they should experience and consume this series?
Look, guys, go watch the series with an open mind, with your mind ready for changes, because just think that the book isn't going anywhere, the movie isn't going anywhere. I watched the first episode and didn't like it. So that's fine. You can just go there, open your favorite streaming service, put on the movie you like, watch it again, and talk about it. Yeah, it's simple. I want to highlight something important. The actors who are in this series have nothing to do with your nostalgia, okay? They're just people working there. Good, Misa. They got a good offer there. I think everyone who says they wouldn't accept an offer like that is blatantly lying, of course. Whether it's production, acting, anything, even the person who brings coffee on the set of Harry Potter.
I would do it. I would do it.
I'd do it for free. I'd do it for free, just to be able to see the day-to-day, I swear. You can say no, it'll be tiring. I'd be there for all 250 days of filming, I don't know. But every day, just to see them filming each of the scenes.
If you want me, Misa, to knock on the trailer door and say they're ready to shoot, I'll do it for free. No need to pay me.
No, So,
right, it's really important for us to emphasize that character and actor are separate, okay? It has nothing to do with actors accepting a job opportunity there for themselves. Everyone just wants to pay their bills.
Okay, and it's great work.
And it's a huge gig. It's not just any streaming service. It's not just any franchise. Whether you like it or not, right? Because yes, there are people who don't like Harry Potter, all that stuff. That's okay. You can dislike whatever you want. Just don't go looking for someone to blame in all of this, because there's no one to blame.
The one to blame is you, who doesn't know how to enjoy things, my brother.
you see?
Go.
Have you seen that scene from Shrek, man? And you're the one to blame, man. Me? Get him.
That's literally it, man. Me?
Get him. No, man, it's really good. And then...
That would be my message. Like, go in with an open mind, guys. But if you don't like it, that's okay. You're not obligated to like it. I promise no one will point a gun at you.
No, I think the main message too, adding to yours, is you might not like it, but don't be annoying. Nobody likes annoying people. Do you get it? Go be annoying somewhere else.
My brother. No, and another thing, the worst is the annoying person who doesn't like it and is going to be all like, well...
Acting like everyone else is enjoying it. My friend,
Stop saying get him. Did you guys really like that? Wow. Are you being paid? Are you getting money transfers?
Pix, blame the keyboard. Wow, but why? I'm way superior, why?
Oh, let me spoil something for you. When you comment there like Harry Potter on social media, even if it's just to say something bad, you're giving it engagement. No.
So, like...
The best way for you not to like things is not to talk about anything.
Believe it or not. Yeah, miss.
Yes, it's not talking about...
Especially with Harry Potter.
Or just discuss it at home, no one cares.
Go gossip with others who do the same. Don't comment on posts of people who are genuinely happy and enjoying life.
That's right.
Pause. Now it worked. It won't go.
No, it won't.
Don't do that. When someone's really happy enjoying the series and doing what they like, you don't ruin their enjoyment.
And we're going to have a lot of people who will be enjoying it, and I hope everyone finds their own way. It's the same. As Miss said, if you didn't enjoy it, or if you really don't open your mind much, go ahead. The movies are always there. HBO isn't going to get rid of the movies. The movies won't disappear. The series comes as a compliment, something to add and for us to have fun. And Miss, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Wow.
Wow, but look, I thank you, miss, but I just got a message here, man. They're gonna get rid of the movies, HBO told me. Oh,
Man.
What a scare.
Man, I thought it was something serious. Let's delete it.
let's delete the movies.
So, you just got the information that, Miss, look, once again, really,
Thank you, miss. Thank you.
thank you for participating. Please, how can people find you on social media?
So you can find me on Instagram, which is xmisswalker. You can find me on YouTube as well, Planto Geek. Twitter is also xmisswalker. And I also wanted to just add here, thank you to everyone who asked for this collab.
Yeah, thanks. Look, guys, you were the ones who asked for it. I saw it a lot.
Guys, I saw it a lot too.
A lot of people asking. I interact with miss. We do some interactions, right? By the way, I want to highlight my appreciation for the analysis she does. I think all the technique is brilliant. It's like, I like to do analysis, but my thing about doing analysis is the analysis itself. Being picky, hunting for tiny details and stuff like that. She has a very beautiful technical side, you know? Like the feeling of it, I think it's amazing.
We complement each other here.
I've already listed all the terms here.
Is
Psychological pressure wasn't pressure. It was nothing.
Psychological pressure.
I've already written it down wrong, I have.
And what was the other term?
It was maturation trauma.
Maturation trauma.
Mr. Diffco, Mr. Livco, the Harry Potter series is a maturation story, right?
Then he'll say, what's that?
Maturation trauma, right, Mr. Livco? Maturation, no.
When you talk to foreigners, you say coming of age.
Wow.
How is it? Coming of age. Coming of age?
Seriously.
Seriously, coming of age?
Livco, coming of age, Harry Potter, what do you think?
Then he'll say, yeah, I'm 90.
So how is it?
But guys, let's go to Momento Berador where we answer your messages. Miss, please cue Momento Berador.
You have to grab the microphone. So let's go. The first one here is from Alvo Severo Potter. What do you think about Perasa being like Jim Carrey's The Mask? Kind of cartoonish, playful, and chaotic.
I like it. I really like Jim Carrey's The Mask. It's one of my favorite childhood movies.
I love it. I think it's amazing. And
Wow, this movie is wonderful. I love it. It marked my childhood. Jim Carrey, I'm a huge fan of Jim Carrey. So the more similar it is to something of his, the cooler it would be.
really exaggerated, right?
You turn sideways into a horn. Yeah.
Awesome. Man.
Really cool.
I want to, mainly to be polite, I think it would create a love-hate relationship.
It would be cool. Wow, I thought it was really cool.
I like it. I really want to see Peeves in action in the series, like that thing that makes us feel angry, but at the same time say, man, this guy is cool.
Really causing chaos in the hallways. I want it so much.
That's cool.
Totally approved.
Mandy Abraga commented here, didn't Petunia ever suspect that the weird things happening were magic since her sister was a witch?
Now it's just nonsense.
Yeah, didn't Petunia ever suspect that the weird things were magic since her sister was a witch? I think she definitely suspected.
I think she knew, right?
My friends, this has turned into pointless chatter.
No, but I believe so. She knows, obviously.
She tried to hide something, to suppress, actually.
Something. That she didn't. Maybe she wanted him to believe she didn't. But when strange things happened, she definitely remembered her sister. Yes. And her trauma of being yes.
She realized the father thought, this kid is the same.
They can even explore that, right? This issue of her feeling kind of repressed.
For sure. It's cool. And I saw people saying when Petunia says there's nothing special about you, it seems like she was speaking out of anger that it didn't happen to her. And she puts that anger on someone else because she knows he is. No, totally, I agree. Things are happening to him. And saying that there's nothing is her way, right? She's saying it to herself. Exactly, right? Exactly.
Carlos said, Kako, if the cauldron is leaking, how do you make a potion? In a little puddle? Tiago, good evening.
Tiago, good evening. Did you get my name wrong? It's Tiago, good evening.
The leaky cauldron, it's not used to make potions. We just use it as a symbol, really. Okay. Then the potion, we make it in a good cauldron. Good evening, Tiago.
Good evening here from the chat.
I want to do Tiago. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before. I have a neighbor who, every time he sees me, he does this. He goes like this. Hey, what's up, Tiago? He calls me Tiago. Wrong, because it's Tiago. He calls me Tiago, and he says, hey, I'm looking forward to watching the series, huh? To watch your videos with the series. I just reply, yeah, thanks, thank you. I've never corrected him. No.
Because it's better for the intentions, right? He's nice.
Guys. At CCXP, it happens a lot that someone sometimes comes up and says, Kako, take a picture with me. Then I say no, just to stand still, just to stand there once. No, I'm kidding. I do it. I say, of course, man.
This year we have to do the hat experiment. Put the hat on Tiago. Let's do it.
We'll make reels about this and it'll go viral.
Wow.
Yeah, we start the reels like this. Look, Tiago is going to put on the hat and we're going to see how many people will...
And I have to stay with the hidden camera. No.
This reels is going to turn out really good.
Seriously. And you with that tiny mic?
No, for real, man. And then people are going to say, wow, Kako, take a picture. Then I will...
Take it just to see the person's reaction. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be good.
It's going to be really good.
Let's move on to the next one here from Mateus Moreira. Do you think they built an animatronic for Norberto or will he be done with CGI?
A real dragon, man. No.
They're going to Romania, right?
Let's get a dragon. Let's talk to a Carlinhos. Carlinhos, lend us one.
My brother Carlinhos, but just my Carlinhos.
Because he's small and they didn't show it in the documentary. I think it's a spoiler for upcoming episodes and they don't want to ruin it.
I'd bet on the animatronic.
And I would also bet with...
Definitely the little egg I put on the DVD.
I'm not sure if that part was in the movies since it looked like computer graphics.
It's computer graphics. In the movie, it's computer graphics, right?
And now let's go to our last question of today's Momento Berador, Maria Helena Horst. Hi, Kako and Tiago. How are you? Do you think the series will keep what Fantastic Beasts did in the 3 movies? I hope not.
Ha!
So it's in a tone of...
Threat. The guy is finished. Is that a threat?
In a threatening tone.
But I don't get it. Maintain what? The story has to stay in canon?
I think that's what she meant. Maybe that's it, right? Keep, for example, the blood pact in there. There's the fact that I think...
Honestly, that this won't even be addressed. So it's not something that will...
For example, Nagini being a human. Not that either.
And it won't be addressed, honestly.
It would be my dream. It really would.
Would it? No, it would be really cool. Or maybe not, but it would be really cool.
I don't think they'll do anything related to Fantastic Beasts. If the book doesn't show that Nagini was a human, I think they'll keep it that way in the series.
Maybe they could make some reference, something like that, but I think it's unlikely. Yeah.
I think that maybe if they wanted to add something extra, it could be later on, not just like season 4.
Yeah, when Nagini kind of appears in the story, when Voldemort was going to meet her there in class.
It would be cool if they did.
I don't think so, but it would be cool.
It's just that I think when he meets her, she's already turned into a snake for him. Kind of, yeah. So there's no human interaction, right? I don't know. But that's it, guys. That was Momento Berador. The coach is always on the screen in case you want to send your message. This episode is coming out on Observatorio Potter. Follow Mrs. Channel. Subscribe to both channels, to all the channels preferably, to Caldeirão Furado, to Observatório Potter, to Plantão Geek. And that's it, guys.
Thank you very much.
Miss, thanks, Miss. We're together. Thanks.
World.
Thanks. This was another reserved session. Thanks.